Hey guys, I'm out working in the garage again today, and I think we're going to try and fit the three-piece spoiler on the back. So I got some cardboard over there, poster board really, and let's walk over there. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do and see, make some patterns, and then see how this fits, and then drill some holes, and also finish the body work on the hood and then the roof, and then it's got a little bit of primer on it. I haven't gone over with all the really nice thick filler primer and done the body sanding. That'll come later. So let's go over and take a look at it, and then we'll go step by step as we put the three-piece spoiler on. Come on over here.
Okay, so the hood is done. Pretty much body work. Only thing left now is some filler primer. So we'll do a lot of filler primer. The hood's going to come off the car. I'm going to do all the whole thing will get filler primered and then block sanded, and then it'll get ready. So I think it looks pretty badass. Who would have thought a 64 Thunderbird hood scoop would look cool on a 78 Mustang, but it does. I think it does. And I just wonder, once the car's all done, how many people are going to actually know what this is from. So that's kind of cool. So we got the, this has all been welded, body worked, and smoothed out. So it's ready for some filler primer. The Targa band. So all the holes, I welded all the holes. Just put some nice thin filler or some putty over that. Feathered it from side to side, nice and smooth. So you're really not going to be able to tell once it's done that it ever had a Targa. Like I said, all I got to do is take a razor blade. That's just a piece of sticker, just a piece of tape. So that'll come off and clean that window up. Get me a piece of trim here and a new piece of trim that goes here, and that'll be good. So we're going to look into fitting this three-piece spoiler on here. So here's this piece. This piece here actually goes here. So what I'm going to do is I actually almost tore, since I got new weather strip, I almost tore all this old weather strip out. But the reason I decided to leave it for now is because when the hatch comes down, it's still sitting on that weather strip, which makes this gap level, perfect. So when I'm fitting on this three-piece spoiler, I don't want this thing to sit any lower and then throw it off when I put the new weather strip in. So this way, when the hatch is down, it should line up pretty nice across here. So basically, here's what I did: was I just took two pieces of poster board, taped it together, and I got the rear spoiler sitting here. So I made sure that it fit on the car right. This is the back side that faces the rear. This faces the front. So basically, is what I did is I just cut this piece of poster board, and as I'm going to trace it with a pencil, kind of hold this up a little bit as I go around, so there's not much of a discrepancy in the size, you know, from that little gap. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that, and then I'm going to cut it to the exact size of this. And then I'm going to flip this around, and I'll show you, and then I'm going to push this poster board through all them screws. So the holes are pretty much, I'll probably do, maybe I'll put a couple pieces of tape on here to hold it in the right spot. And then I will push that poster board through, and then sit it on the car. And then here's the other piece. I'm going to do the same thing with this. So let me go ahead and cut this and see if we can get that lined up. And then I'll put that, and then I'll show you this. I'll tape it onto the rear hatch, and then I'll hold this over top, kind of see if it lines up where I want it to line up, and then see how we'll go about drilling some holes. Let's check it out. So basically all I did was just kind of trace this right along here, and I ran my fingers underneath of it so it lifts it up all the way so it's like it's flat on the bottom, there's no gap. And then I just drew this line all the way around it. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside. And then we're just going to take a razor blade, and then we'll just cut So I'm basically just going to just push these through. So I took the cardboard and taped it down. It's centered. It's right along the bottom edge of the bottom of the hatch, and then it's on each end. It matches. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the spoiler. I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to kind of set it here and make sure that these line up. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie and just go ahead and poke, just draw some holes through there so I know where to drill. Now this may, you know, it may be a tiny bit off, you know, one way or the other once I drill the holes. So you can, you know, it's going to be, these holes are going to be underneath of the spoiler. So if you got to ream them just a little bit, I don't think it's really going to hurt anything. So is what I'm going to do is when I drill these holes, I'm going to drill them. It's going to go through here. It's going to go all the way through the bottom. That way I know where to take my, I'm going to take that other bit, that bit that starts small and goes bigger. And then that way I can drill a little bit of a bigger hole on the bottom so I can get the nut up through. And then once it's all done, then I'll just put some like a plastic plug on there so you can always access that if you need to. So we'll go ahead and see if we can fit that other spoiler. Fit the spoiler. So let's check this out. So there's the holes that we punched. And when I hold the bottom of the spoiler, it looks like it's going to go directly to the bottom of the hatch. And when you check out the sides, they are pretty much perfect. So I'm going to go this way just a smidge, but those holes are going to line up just perfect, and this spoiler is going to fit pretty perfect in here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark some holes and drill some holes, and then we'll set this down in and we'll see how she fits on here. Bottom right at the edge. Look how nice and tight that fits across the curved hatch. Fits nice on the curve. Now look, it's right along, oops, sorry. It's right along the edge. It's right there on the bottom of the hatch, exactly perfect the way it's supposed to be. And it goes right to the end. Couldn't ask for a better fit. Okay, so this one's in. This one, it's not bolted down, but it's pretty tight, just to give you an idea. So, and I've got the pattern drawn. So basically I'm going to kind of hold this on here where it lines up, so this is right. Basically what I should have done was got a piece of tape ready. Okay, so let's do this again. So I'm going to line this up. I got the cardboard on here. So I think is what I'm going to need to do, where the hole is going to go, is I'll set this and I'm going to tape this cardboard down. And then I'll pull this back up. So then I will, cardboard, poster board I should say. It's not sticking too good on that primer. So basically, we're going to stick it the best we can. Fits on there nice. Now you can see now the hatch, obviously it's not latched, so you can see it's up just a little bit. But when the hatch is latched all the way down, it's going to go down that little bit more, and then that'll be even. But you can see how nice and tight this fits on the back. Let's look from behind. How about that? Fits right around just like it's supposed to. Okay, so basically, here's what we did. I got a sharper drill bit this time. Drill a hole. We got one there. This one here. Easy access. Right there. It goes right through. See my finger? Right there. Easy peasy. Looks like a couple bullet holes actually. That goes right on. that'll bolt down. You got the gap. The gap is nice for when the hatch shuts. This is, like I said, that's going to go down, even up. We'll do the same on the other side. Pretty simple pattern. I'm going to actually take this pattern over and I'm going to reverse it and see if it lines up on the other side. Then I can just use it for both sides. But that fits on there pretty nice. You can see we got that, how that spoiler's on. Looks pretty darn good. All right, so there's the next one, okay? So we did the exact same thing. Now, unfortunately, you know, like I showed you on the bottom of these, there's like this big cement type goo. So they never put the bolts in the exact same place on every one they make, I'm sure, because I would love to be able to just send you guys the pattern, if you want to do it, the one that I just made, and it would work perfectly. But this one was completely different than the other side. I thought I would just flip it and it would work. It was way off. So the holes on this one are just a little bit different. So I had to make a new pattern for this one. So you can see this one lines up pretty nice. It needs bolted down, and it fits. The gaps are nice. Fits the back real nice. So the 3-piece spoiler for the back, I'd say it's a win-win. So that's that. All right, guys. So there you go. There's a 3-piece spoiler from Classic Auto Reproductions. It's a pretty nice. It's a nice spoiler. The bolts, you know, you make your pattern just like I showed you with a piece of poster board from the dollar store. I got $2 invested in that piece of poster board, taped it up. Now, obviously, you know, you'll drill your holes. You may have a little bit of tweaking to do. You know, you may have to ream a hole out just a smidge, and you know, but make sure when you're done, before you paint the car, or if your car's already painted but it doesn't have a spoiler and you want to put one on, don't be afraid. Just do what I did, and you know, before you put the spoiler on, you know, clean that hole up. Maybe even use a little rat tail file. You know, get that hole smooth. Maybe put some silicone on it if you want. Put that spoiler on, bolt it down, and once it's painted, you'll never see the hole. Come on, let's face it, most of us don't drive these cars once they're done in the rain anyway. So what are you worrying about? So put that spoiler on if you don't have one. It looks great. I just showed you how to do it. It's pretty simple. Maybe some of you have different ways of doing it, but I think that's the easiest one. And you saw the results. It looks great. Now obviously I'm going to paint it off the car. Fix those holes so they're nice and smooth. Put them back on, bolt them up. Now I'm going to drill the holes underneath and make them a little bit bigger because I'm going to put a washer on there. So I'm not going to make them too big, just big enough to get a socket wrench through to tighten them down with a washer. So, and then I'm going to put a little cap on it and plug it on them holes if the screw doesn't come through. And that's pretty much it. So I appreciate you watching. Next thing, I think I told you we're gonna put them louvers. I'm gonna show you how them louvers screw in, and we'll just keep moving from there. Every day, I get a little bit more done. Well, it's been pretty nice lately, so we've been swimming, and I haven't really worked on this thing in about 2 weeks because I've been in the pool. It's 95 degrees out here, so would you rather be working on a car sweating your ass off or be swimming in a pool? So we've been out in our pool and enjoying that. So thanks for watching. Check the notifications, tell all your friends, and I'll see you next time.